So when it comes to society, that's where men are leaders because it's more of like men are more logical than women.
Okay.
Brian, we
terms
might,
of-
we might lose the couch. We might lose the
Hey, like,
Hey, I can feel the tension here. Hey.
Where is he? Where is that man?
couch.
Erebo. We have our customs here. This house belongs to my late brother, Robert.
But I guess nothing stays secret in this family. If you could loosen your grip on that alcohol, maybe you would be given the key.
Your daughter needs you. She will never forgive you for not trying it.
I am the first heir. This land is my responsibility.
You just ended an engagement.
Stay here. Your family.
This is not supposed to be happening.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of More to Follow. We are really excited. I mean, I keep saying this about every other episode, but this one I am really excited about. We have special guests with us on the seat. Before I actually get to them, my name is Judy Corey, 1/3 of a podcast. Allow the person on my left to introduce themselves and then we'll get to the others.
Hi guys. For this episode, my moniker is gonna be Luanda Magere. From the Luo community. He was a warrior. So that's who I embody today.
Amazing. And then I want to ask you to introduce yourself and then let us know a bit more about you and also the reason why we are on this seat.
Wow, that's a lot. But I'll start with what I am. I am a person. Mhm. My name is Jinna Mutune. I am a filmmaker, producer, writer, and director. I specialize on those. Very passionate about telling different African stories to the globe. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Amazing. It's your turn now.
it's my turn now.
Get to them.
Hi, my name is Brian Abajah. I'm a filmmaker, an actor, and a lover of life. And I'm also happy to be here.
Amazing. Now, Thank you for keeping it short and sweet. We have them as part of Jinna is a film producer as well as director for a film premiering on the 15th of May called Cocoa Dreams. And we have Abajah as part of a cast for this particular film. Maybe you'd want to tell us a bit more about Cocoa Dreams. What actually sparked the interest to write the story to actually why the story now?
Why the story now? Okay, that's interesting. So, Cocoa Dreams is pretty much the story of a female physicist, lady who was born in Muhoroni, who was studying out, and she has now to go back to bury her grandmother, who was the matriarch of the home. And then she finds out that she has inherited the land and the conflict that comes with that. And so kind of that's what we capture. We capture a family that is unraveling and the dynamics of what it is to have a progressive culture and what it means to also honor where we've come from. And that's kind of what plays in the story. What inspired the story? I think my journey as an African woman in an African context inspired the story. because when we get to create, it's not something that has just started now. It could be a culmination of 10 years of just experiencing the societies that we're in. But I also was privileged to live in Kisumu for 2 years, and I also just absorbed the culture. And so I just, how can I say it? I think my friend says it the best. He says, the story chose me. So one day I sat down and I said, Cocoa Dreams. I said, why can we not plant something different in these sugar areas, understanding how much corruption there is around sugars, like cocoa would do great. Then I discovered that there's actually a government initiative to promote cocoa in Western region, Kilifi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there are farmers planting cocoa and having their own artisan chocolate in Meru and Thika.
Really?
Oh.
Yes. So this is a thing. So, and I was just like, oh, wow, that was interesting. So I discovered now when I was like, now I'm going to write this and I'm doing the research, Yeah. So that was interesting. So challenging just agricultural policies, colonial agricultural policies that kind of push farmers to farm things that are not great for the ground and not nutrient dense and not favorable for the climate that we live in. So yeah, so it's a when you're writing, it's a culmination of many things that make you push that out. And I just think the Luo culture became a canvas to kind of push the story out. Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, but so I was privileged also to work with a story consultant grounded in the culture, and that's Oyunga Pala. So he was able to guide me, and then I'm also married to my husband who's from the area, and so these people were kind of what do you call them? Cultural consultants who are guiding you to understand the culture, considering I'm not primarily born from
From
there.
there.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. But it's a universal story. The themes there are grief, land inheritance, women empowerment. These themes are in every African culture. So it's a universal story. And yeah.
Do you personally like cocoa?
So that's the irony. So I don't know why you're putting me on spot like that.
I'm asking.
Because I do have a sweet tooth, but for some reason I don't like chocolate. But all my friends, this is the way I love on them. I buy them artisan chocolate pieces and I give them, and they're like on top of the moon. But a nice chocolate fudge cake, now that one I will take. So yeah. But now the cacao part of it, the raw one that's not fully processed, has a lot of benefits.
All right.
Mary can share.
You say the story is based mostly in Western,
Yes.
which means are we expecting to hear a lot of the lore in this particular film?
Absolutely. I mean, let me tell you a fascinating fact. Since I got married to my husband, we came to discover that when I speak the Sheng in the 90s, he would be like, where did you get that word? And I would say, a treaty. He said, yeah, that's Luo. I'm like, oh, really? And then you would say, now that I'm saying it, but there are many words in the 90s Sheng that are actually Luo influence.
Sorry, Chuti is.
A treaty is
Oh, a
Luo.
treaty.
A treaty is Luo.
Treaty.
Yeah, you all know. Yeah, you know what that is. Yeah,
And
it's like
think
pants
I've
that are not touching your toe.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
treaty.
Okay.
A treaty. Then what's Ngoch called or something? I mean, there's so many words I say, and he's just like, that's actually Luo. I'm like, oh wow. So we came to, it was very interesting. So Sheng in the 90s is influenced with a bit of Kikuyu, and a lot of Luo is in it.
I don't think I'm as that good speaking my mother tongue. I'm curious, was it easy for you to actually play the particular role? Actually, tell us a bit more about the role you're playing in the film and whether it was also easy. I assume you're also speaking in the Luo.
Yeah. I speak in, like, it's not easy to speak it, but I understand the Luo language because I was born and raised in a Luo setting family. So my character's name is Obiero. Obiero is a farmer, and he lives in the village. He's been there for quite some time, and he's the love interest to Jaber. But now there's a conflict between him and Jaber because Obiero being an entrepreneur and someone who lives in the village, and Jaber, who's someone who comes from a well-off family, and it's really hard for Obiero to like showcase his love for Jaber because insecurities of different different setbacks of where you come from. Because Obiro comes from a very humble family, and Jaber comes from a very wealthy family again. And also, I feel like for Obiero, in regards to the story about inheritance and land, he's trying to also, adapt to change in terms of how women are also like leaders and how nowadays we can accept equality in the modern day society. And he's also clinging to the past of where a man has to lead all the time. Yeah. So that's all about Obiero right now.
Would you see the same thing applies to your life right now? Like, the man has to lead all the time. If anything, right now, the argument or the discussion I have with most people on the cast is let the man do his job. If it's opening the door most of the time, Andy would be like, please, this is my job. Do you still think it's of the same opinion that men should be allowed to lead? He most of the time those are the arguments like, why are you doing these things and I'm here? Why are you carrying your chair and I'm here?
Andy is, what is that English word? It's full of chivalry, is it?
That I agree.
Oh,
It shocks me about him till
Thank
today.
you, Andy.
He'll see me carrying a seat. I'm like, why you carrying? It doesn't happen all the time. With him, it's
Wonder
almost a
Man
default
Gere with all the
setting.
strength.
With him, it's almost a default setting. If he sees you carrying a chair, it's like, no, why are you carrying?
I mean-
You'll see him carrying 5 items, and I'm like standing, and he's like,
He
yes.
was raised well. Andy, kudos to your father or mother, whoever.
being-
Sorry, this is a misrepresentation.
It's not all the time. The last time I asked him to open the door, and he's like, can you not open the door? Is this a gender thing?
Nah.
You asked.
That's very out of context. Anyway, finish your question.
Do you agree still the same note today that men ought to lead?
Yeah, men ought to lead, definitely. But it's like being a gentleman and leading, they're two different things,
Okay.
I feel like Andy is just being a gentleman. Opening the door, carrying the seat for you.
Okay.
That's being a gentleman. Leading in terms of, like I feel like men are rational beings and women are emotional beings. So when it comes to society, that's where men are leaders, because it's more like men are more logical than women.
Okay.
Brian, we might lose the couch. We might lose the couch.
Hey, I can feel the tension here. Hey,
I feel
I think
you know what? I
think there
agree.
is, and you're not really wrong in some sense, but I think challenging what women's leadership look like and men leadership look like. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. Just because one leans on emotional intelligence and still has facts does not make them less of a leader than the one who's more factual and less
Emotive.
in what they're doing. And this is why I really try, this is not men against women, or I think for where the society is in Africa, there needs to be collaborative partnership, and in terms of appreciating the diversity of how we show up, so that we are able to progress Africa forward to what it needs to be. So I don't think celebrating women leadership in any way takes away from men leadership. And that's a very scarcity mentality that if we really look where it's come from, it's been informed by a lot of the colonial practices that came through. Because if you study a lot of the African cultures prior to colonialism, they had matriarch figures. And these women led because they had wisdom, they had strategy, and they led, and I don't think that took away from them now being motherly or nurturing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think you have to necessarily choose. So this is what we're really trying to tell in Cocoa. It's a story of this lady, but she is who she is, or she's going to be who she is, because she's supported with men allies who really are for her to win, are for her to really plant this cocoa and change what agriculture looks like in that in different regions in Africa. So yeah.
You said the lead for this particular story is Jaber. I assume there's certain stories or people you were basing while you were building this character for Jaber.
Absolutely.
Who would you say were you borrowing inspiration from as you were building Jaber's story?
Jaber is not because
A hot babe.
yeah.
So no, Jaber is the name of the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's
is
still
that by
a hot
design?
babe.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Kid Carey is a hot babe.
Hey.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
You heard it here
She
first.
is a hot babe, yeah.
Hey, slowly.
Yeah, that's like-
Yeah, by all means, what are some of the stories you are using to help build Jaber's character and story as well?
Yeah, so like anytime, especially for my lead characters, I really look for inspiration around certain historical figures that inform the character. So my mom is a historical figure, so
Oh,
no.
okay.
But to me, she is. And she really, like, I have seen her model a sort of independence and a sort of leadership for the longest time. You know, she's been a banker from the time she was 19. I've seen her own things, run businesses. So she really was like, if you're a woman, you can be everything. And she was still very nurturing to us. So she modeled that, what do you call it, a sense of, independence or women empowerment that she embodied and fought for. So she absolutely inspired the character. But then also, I remember reading some of the Sets book by Grace Ogot, and I was like, wow, these women are brilliant in how they're writing the literature. I mean, Fiona Coth, she was like, what's her name? Phoebe Asio, she was the first female member of parliament, in a very quote unquote patriarchal society, So, there was Magdalene Odundo, she's a ceramist, and her work has influenced, her work is in like key museums in Europe and is also influencing fashion in Paris, So we're kind of celebrating that. Marjorie McGoy, who's an author, we've read her books, and these women are such enigmas. Is that the right English word? Yeah. Okay, let's get it.
That's
again.
actually, yeah.
Is it live? Sorry.
No, Enigma still works.
No, is the show live?
No,
Oh,
it's not.
thank God. Okay, so you can edit this part. Okay. Oh, this is how you're gonna put it in, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, I can see that. The
I was
light
gone.
bulb has well done. Yeah, so these women are such enigmas, and they are really celebrated outside. They are like such enigmas globally, and I don't think we really give them the credit of who they are. And majority of these women that I'm mentioning are actually coming from Western region, and now we are seeing there is it's inspiring the next generation. Like we have Fiona Coth, who's a United States Air Force pilot, So these characters, just studying them, the first woman to be drafted in now, what do you call NBA?
The WNBA.
Yeah.
So these characters, of course, were just influencing Jaber for me. And of course, my friends who are also, I have a great circle of friends from the Western region who are really brilliant leaders. And so they were all breathing life to Jaber.
Amazing. As we've mentioned before, Jaber is played by Kit Kiarie.
Yeah,
And in this story, she is your love interest.
Yep.
How has that been working with Kit?
Hey, my blush.
Pole. I liked it.
I'm just getting flashbacks of the days we were on set. It was very, very nice. Our director was very helpful, and our chemistry was very, very natural. Like, she's a good actor, she's a brilliant artist, and the collaboration was amazing.
Would it be wrong to say this is her debut? Like, it's her first time
Yeah. Her debut as
an actress.
No, as a TV film actress.
Amazing.
But she's done theater before.
She's done theater.
Amazing. What drew you to the role of Obiero?
First, I would say the Luo language. Like, I wanted to play a role where I can speak in Luo. I've never played a role that I've spoken in my, the Luo accent. And yeah, the story was really amazing as well. It's about inheritance, land, and women empowerment. It's a really good story.
What was your favorite line?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
In fact, look at the camera there.
Oh, and then delivers the line.
Yeah.
Delivers the line as Obiero. That would be so cool.
That's a good one. That's a good one now. Jaber, aheri. Aheri ainya ainya.
Hey.
What does that mean?
That means, Jaber, I love you. I love you for real.
Aww. The Shakespeare guys have spoken.
I'm already blushing.
I know. Do you want him to say it to you? Because he's
I
cool.
love you.
By the way, yeah, Yeah, actually.
No, you can't be selling me off to every person. Who comes to me.
Hey. You see out of context things. Yeah.
This is how you miss your moment, Judy.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask, was there a scene that stayed with you from what you've already shot that sticks with you and like that moment where I'm like, yes, this one,
Yeah.
this is going to be.
There's a scene we shot in the hospital. It's a hospital scene. It was a very vulnerable moment because Jaber was about to leave the village because of the lot. She was facing a lot of backlash in terms of there's a lot of things happening in terms of the inheritance of the land, and she wanted to leave and give up. So I was there, and I was in the hospital with her, just trying to, talk to her to stay. And it was very vulnerable because I feel like Obiero's moment of vulnerability was so powerful, and I didn't see it coming as well when I was playing Obiero. It was very natural, and the director helped us as well to bring it to life. So that's one moment that really stuck with me through the whole film. Yeah.
I like that. Maybe if I can come back to you, because I'm thinking through your role as a film producer, as well as a director for Cocoa Dreams. How has that been? I think about the production we put together for this particular podcast, and we have so many roles. This is a very small production team, but you work with a much bigger team.
Right.
And you're at this point, you're also producing and also directing. You have to wear so many hats for this vision to come together.
Absolutely.
And I think it changes, especially if you're directing someone else's story, if you're directing someone else, like you're taking it on as a job. I think it changes when you're the one who carries, like the vision started with you.
Right.
And you have to see it through the same way. Rather, even putting together all the ideas from the cast, it takes a lot.
It does. It takes a lot. And I do feel the allotness, but also over time, I have grown as a leader. And then there's just a grace that God gives you. Because I tell people, like, this was kind of, I discovered my path in filmmaking by default because I was the kid who directed Kalongo. Then I'd be like, it's not interesting. You, my friend, be the villain. Now chase us. Then I'm like, yes, now Kalongo has hit. So I was constantly creating stories in school, plays, just doing this over, just naturally flowing in it. Then before, discovering it's a calling, and then, how can I say it? Finding mentors along the way who really mentored me on the creative arts and leadership. And I never understood why until now. On this other side, I was like, oh my God, to produce an African story, it's not just about loving the art. Because one of my most magical moments is when I'm sitting with the actors. You know what I'm saying? That's my magical moment. So the producing part was by default because now I needed to tell my stories. Then I needed to understand what it means to do successful pitches, what it means to get that money in. So that's how I ended up being a producer. It was by default. Yeah. So it's a lot, but I do have a great team. And I always say film is a very collaborative art. And I don't believe it's a Jinna Mutune film. I believe it's the names of each and every person that was involved in the film because it takes the team. And I always tell them, I say you could not be, when you shoot the film, people see the actors. But if you, the gaffer, falls short, something is not working in that scene because of you. If you wardrobe don't do it, if the caterer gives us bad food, then we can't shoot. So just everything, plus the drivers who have to pick the crew on time so that we make the call sheet so that we make it on time. So it's such a collaborative art. And then now, of course, after we are done, then the PR and the marketing team takes it. And their part in marketing and opening doors and understanding how to package what we have to get to the audiences is very crucial. So it's a very collaborative art. So I think one of the reasons I am able to do what I'm able to do is because I have a great team of people. Yeah. And I say that in all humility. They are the geniuses.
And even with such a project such as Cocoa Dreams, we are looking at a very big crew that has been able to put this together. Maybe back to you. She's mentioned about the people who've actually helped her, mentored her in this role and the journey she's been on, even getting to a point where we now have Cocoa Dreams. This is your third film that you've done?
Second film.
Second film.
The second one that I was trying kind of, lay low. It failed. it failed forward to Cocoa.
Amazing. I mean, we're here for that
here
very
now.
reason.
Yes.
What would you say actually inspired you to do the work that you do? Because now we'll get to learn about Obiero's story through your journey. What prompted you to want to be an actor? And actually, leave alone taking on the role. It's just doing this as your career path.
Yeah, okay. I can say it started when I was in high school, the drama festivals and being part of it. And then proceeding into college, I started just watching films. I feel it was my way. It was just a way of, it was just my time. Whenever I feel like I have a lot of things going on in my life, watching movies and watching films would feel very therapeutic for me. So that's one thing that led me to I want to be an actor as well. I want to make people feel the same way I feel whenever I watch movies and films. So fast forward to joining Kenya National Theatre, performing arts, doing a lot of plays, and yeah, we're here right now.
To now we are here now and more
Now,
to follow.
Yeah.
Promoting Cocoa Dreams. Again, to watch the film 16th on 17th, we'll have a show public screening happening at Anga Cinema in Parklands. We have a 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. show, and tickets are only 1,500, guys. 1,500. The last time we had Joyce Musoke, who's also part of this amazing ensemble, she said, when you see the poster, just go and see. Instead of making noise about how Kenyans are not, how bad Kenyan films are, how bad Kenyans are doing it, you support your own. Even before you start making commentary, you support them regardless. So we can't wait to see this amazing, amazing film that you put together. Do we have any last words before?
No, mine is a bit more controversial.
As always.
Yeah, that much I can attest to. But there's something Martin Kigondu said in the time that we did for Sanctuary. He mentioned that he thinks how drama festivals is done in this country should be scrapped. Do you share in that opinion?
That's interesting.
That's very interesting. Why did he say that?
Mostly because it's restricted to a specific way.
Yeah.
There's a specific way of doing things. The art should look a certain way. The actors should behave in a certain manner. The production should also look a certain manner.
And then there's also about judging someone's craft. This is my creativity, and you're judging it based on your. It's not. You're not. Yes, you're not. It's not objective to the sense that this is what I have to present. It's this is what I expect from you. If you don't meet, let's say XYZ, then it becomes you didn't qualify. You're not moving on to the next round because it didn't meet certain criteria or requirements. But then this is your craft. This is what you know, and this is what you're doing. And now confining someone into a box and saying you'd only win if this and XYZ is done. For him, it was just like, why not give people a platform?
It's qualified if you do XYZ. So like cursing, you're saying like, what's wrong with that?
Okay. I would say I have to put a thought to that. That's a very good conversation. It's very thought-provoking. And I mean, everyone's opinion is valid. Yeah. That's all I can say right now.
All right. Any
Peer training.
See,
training.
any last words or anything you want our audience to know about Cocoa Dreams, the projects, aside from coming to watch?
Aside from coming to watch, you have to watch. You have to share the word. We always keep talking about African products. And African services, all they need is African consumers. And so long as we put our mouth where the money is, our money where the mouth is.
Our mouth where the money is.
Our mouth. If we put our mouth where the money is, then you know what I'm saying. Then we are able to really support people like me, like Brian, to continue doing and to continue giving you well done stories that are engaging. So this is not the kind you want to get for free. You want to actually support. So we want you to show up.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Put your money where your
Yeah.
Just pay.
Just come and watch.
Just come and watch. Share with your friend. I always say, like I've said, every post matters to us. So if you think what we're doing is worthy being known to your circle of friends, support us. Maybe you can't afford, but you can share the word. So share the word, and we will let you know where it will be streaming on VOD platforms soon, and we will let you know about that. So for now, it's in the cinemas, and there are a couple of other Mother's Day launch where you can get your tickets below, up here.
Down. Oh yes.
Yes, below.
All right. One more thing. Shout out to Cafe Amka for again providing drinks to our guests today. Please let us know what from their beverage, from their breakfast menu you actually enjoyed.
I'm curious, is it cocoa inside there?
Yes, it's cocoa. It's a cocoa.
I like that.
And this is not even doing justice. I'm sure you're doing something after that, right?
Yeah.
The presentation of this before we came up for shooting was amazing. I think you really have to give Cafe Mawimbi a shot. Like, you need to come and try it.
For Cafe Amka.
For Cafe Amka.
Yes,
drinks.
amazing.
Yes.
We'll definitely do something. You said it's a cocoa.
It's a mocha, but it's done with cacao beans.
Actually, is it cocoa or cocoa?
Well, we've chosen as a cast to say cacao.
Cacao, it is.
Cacao dreams.
Cacao. So
Cocoa, sorry, it's cocoa dreams.
Cocoa dreams.
Yes.
All right. So guys, as you get your cocoa mocha from
Yes.
Cafe Amka, make sure to get your tickets to watch Cocoa Dreams at Anga Cinema. Thank you guys. Thank you much
Thank you.
for coming on board and for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
There's more
Bye.
to follow.
There's more to follow, yes.
There's more to follow.
This Mother's Day, take mom somewhere she'll actually remember. Somewhere that actually does it right. Mawimbi Seafood Restaurant. Nairobi is home of world-class coastal seafood. Flowers are a great start, but have you seen what comes next? A full 3-course gourmet feast. Kind of food that makes a whole table go quiet. Prawns, bruschetta, fresh seafood mains, and a live band to set the mood. And if you've never tried seafood before, not to worry. There's no better place to start than right here. Head on over to mawimbirestaurant.com and book your table for the 10th of May. If she said she doesn't want anything, she was lying.